Hey everybody, let's talk push-ups. Whether you love them or hate them, having that push factor, being able to push open a door or push away from something is important to have. We want that range of motion in our shoulders, all right? So we want to be able to do that, we just may not like it, and maybe it's not appropriate for you, but there's other things we can do to build on that push factor without doing a push-up. I'm going to show you a few push-up moves as well, but I'm not going to show you a traditional push-up on the floor. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I want to test my range of motion. So whether you're a beginner dealing with a shoulder injury like I am, or you're just taking some time off and want to come back to it, what's your current range of motion in your shoulder joint? Okay, so right now I have a TheraBand attached to the arm of my treadmill. So finding something where you can anchor your band to that's not going to pull over and kind of shift with you is where you want to be. All right, I'm going to square myself up to my anchor point. Okay, not locking out the knees, just nice and easy. I don't need a lot of tension on this. So as I pull, all right, the opposing movement of that push and release, I want to feel where the shoulders have any tight spots, any little catches, and I'm pulling my elbows right to my side and then reaching back out. So keep going. Do you feel your shoulder blades come toward each other? Is your chest staying nice and tall? Try not to round or slouch in that position. So keeping nice and tall as you pull and then release. And we're gonna do a little pull and release. And just one more time, a little pull and release. What if I turn my palms down, thumbs in? Now pull wider in the elbows out to the side and release. So I'm gonna pull and release and pull and release. So I'm finding that my range of motion feels good today, which is important. If you find any little catches in your shoulder or something uncomfortable, this is not for you at the moment. You can come back to it after you've made sure that you are safe in this position. All right, so I am doing really good on this range of motion. Let's turn this around, okay? So as I turn around, I'm again gonna take a tail in each hand. My band is underneath my arms, okay? And I'm staying up nice and tall. I'm gonna bend at the elbows. And now I'm gonna push straight out in front of me. And I'm keeping my palms facing each other. Push out, and then let it come back. Reach away, and then let it come back. Good, push out. How was that range of motion? I'm gonna do 3 more. Reach out, and back. Any catches, everything feel easy. One more time, and out. Now as I come back, I'm gonna change my arm position a little bit higher. So I'm going over the top of the arms. So you're gonna feel that band on the top of the arms. And I'm grabbing my band as if I'm holding a chest press bar right in front of me. My knuckles are forward. And now I'm gonna press out and back. And I don't have to go the full range of motion depending on your shoulder. But I do want you at some point to try the full range of motion and see what your arms are saying to you. What is your shoulder saying to you? Can you make that range of motion? When your arms come back, does your shoulder blades squeeze together? When you reach out, does the front of the shoulders and the pec muscles feel centered or even, or is one arm doing more work than the other? Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more. Reach out and back one more time. Reach out, and the band's gonna slide around a little bit and back. Okay, I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna turn back to the anchor point. Now your anchor point can change at any time. It can be a wall, kitchen countertop, arm of the couch, whatever height we want to adjust to. We're going to start high. I'm going to go off the treadmill again. I'm going to bring myself up under the balls of the feet so I can lean a little bit forward. And again, testing that range of motion of leaning into a push-up and back out. So yes, I'm doing the push-up, but I have most of the body weight on my legs. So they come down to a push-up, and I can adjust my hands, hand fingertip position or width of my arms, and trying different angles of the shoulder. So down and up, and getting that full range of motion. This might be all that you need to do right here. You don't need to go any further. But I'm going to show you more, okay? So from here, I'm going to take that notch down. But I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to show you lizard push-ups. So I'm going to come down to a stool that I brought in here. Again, you can use whatever height is for you, bed, arm of the couch. I'm going to come right here and I'm going to go into a knee plank position. So I'm walking my knees back so I can lean forward without dropping the hips down too much, right? So a lizard push-up position is elbows under the shoulders, okay? Lowering the chest down to squeeze the shoulder blades, and then push back away. So I lower a little bit down, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then push away. So I'm doing a small range of motion, but keeping everything safe, and you will feel some shoulder work in this position. Be careful that you don't just move with the head or you like sink the whole body down. So like sink by bringing the hips too far down. So keep that long line moving from the shoulder blades. I can also do the same position from my toes. So now I'm in a plank. Planks are always good options as well. That I can rock front to back on the toes, moving again from the shoulder joint, or down and up into that lizard position. All great options from here. All right, we're gonna take this on into another movement, but first I wanna stretch that out. So whether I'm on my knees, I'm gonna take my hands up on a stool and stretch and lengthen that line out from the shoulders, okay? If I'm standing, kitchen countertop, hook your fingertips over, or something a little higher. This is my treadmill arm again, and I'm gonna lengthen that out. Okay. Now, I'm gonna come back down to my stool, walk back into my plank position, and I can move through that motion. I can push back, just that stretch I just did, and then come back into a plank. Push back. So now I'm moving in and out of that plank position, working the shoulder, but not having it hold me for very long. Reach back and pull forward. Now I'm gonna go into one more, shoulder taps. So I'm gonna come forward, which you can do down on your knees or up on your toes. And I'm gonna lean to one side and bring a hand up to tap the opposite shoulder, and then switch side to side. The wider my feet are, the more base of support I have. Now, if I'm rotating the trunk, like I'm doing a little bit, I'm getting a little more lat, and it'll challenge a little bit different stability. If I focus on keeping my trunk really centered and not rotating as I bring an arm up, now I'm gonna get a little bit more into that shoulder strength. Really have to push down, getting trunk work as well. Counterbalancing your move, side to side. How are we doing? Don't forget, you can do this on your knees. What if I took a foot up? Same thing, I'm gonna take that opposite arm, right? And then I'm gonna tap that foot down. Leg lift, opposite arm. So now I'm just challenging your shoulder strength, your core strength, your stability work in the trunk. I wobble on that one. What's your trunk stability? So you need the trunk stability as well to help your push up. So holding this line and reach. I'm gonna do one more. And reach. And then sit back and stretch it out. How are we doing? So you've got elevated push-ups off the wall, working range of motion using the band. You got lizard push-ups, shoulder taps. How are we doing with all that? Now triceps are huge in a push-up move as well. So what if I turned onto that stool you have, or something in your house right there, making sure it's not gonna shift and move on you, and do a little tricep dip. So if I don't have the strength to go all the way down, that's fine. What about your range of motion of shoulder? Is this comfortable? Can you do this move safely without affecting the front of your shoulder? All right, so triceps are good to work on as you work on your push-up. Down and up. Let's do one more time. Down and up. Okay, and I'm gonna walk in and release. How's that feel? Now, if this was comfortable, higher is better. I'm gonna take that move down to the floor and do a little reverse plank position. So again, that works on the shoulder range of motion, the tricep support, and it gets into my glutes a little bit. So I'm not lifting very high. Let me turn to you a little bit more. I'm not lifting very high. I'm not back bending. I'm not going back. This is definitely to focus on the shoulder range of motion, okay? How can we do with the support? How much can we do with the support that we currently have, all right? So you're going up, you're going down. A stool or something is an excellent way to modify any type of move. I can do leg moves in and out, forward and back, and just working on stabilizing off the shoulder. So I hope that helps. giving yourself something to work on without really doing a full push-up. Try it out. Good luck.